Sound waves have to hit something in order for the sound waves to be.
Let me tell you what it don't have to hit for it to be real.
Hear.
It don't have to hit your ears, and it's still real.
Is it though?
It is.
Like, are my kids talking right now?
They're
I
not.
don't hear them, so they're not talking.
Look, they're not talking when you're
They're
at
only
home
talking when your
because you
ears
acting like
burning.
you still not hearing them.
They're only talking when your ears burning.
Mommy,
Oh,
mommy,
yes, it's all
mommy.
the time.
You know you pretend you don't hear them.
My text messages be like that. Mom. Let me tell you something. My oldest child, her communication skills are lacking, okay? Leave much to be desired. She said, this happened last week. Mom.
Wait. In a text?
In a text message. And then I think I was in the shower, and then I got out after the 10 moms. Something's wrong at the school.
Whoa, pass out.
So as I start, oiling my guns and gassing up and putting on my vest.
Putting on your armor.
And getting my
So
AR-15
let me go, you Valdez.
and grabbing my, 12 gauge shotgun. I said, what do you mean? And then she texts back,
I forgot my homework.
the school's AC out. You got to come get us.
Wow.
When I saw her, I said, please don't ever give me a text message that does not describe
what is going on, especially
on
at a school.
at a school.
Okay.
Because I was about to come up there guns a-blazing.
We have too many school shootings for you to do that.
I said, make sure you text your dad and let him know he does not have to pick you up from school because
The AC is
I picked you out. I picked you up and you're at home. And she said, okay. She texted my husband.
Dad. 10 dads.
You don't have to pick me up at school because there was a situation.
What?
You don't have to worry about picking me up because there was a situation at school.
She said, I love to see them jerk. Welcome to another episode of Diva Court.
Gia.
I'm your host, Marcia Mignot, and with me is my co-diva,
Guns a-blazing Smith.
That would be Dana Tire Slashing Smith. Just
With some
to be
guns.
accurate. Oh, you got guns this week?
Oh, you got to have guns.
Okay,
This
then.
week,
Gun them up, gun them down, gun them all around.
Run them down, gun them up. Run up, get gun up.
We are not responsible for the things she's going to talk about.
Our show should be titled Run Up, Get Gun Up.
Oh, really?
Take some notes.
Run down, get gunned down. How about that?
No, run up, because you have to start it.
Oh, don't start none, won't be none.
Don't start none, won't be none.
I'll take that. Let me start the show, though, so that we'll be some.
Okay.
Some listeners that are listening to us on the air so that they can hear what we're going to talk about, because we don't own the rights to any of the subjects that we're going to talk about today, listeners. But stay tuned, because they're going to be very interesting, because we don't believe nothing Dana's got to say. Hello.
I just want you to run through this so we can get on. I'm ready to pop off.
Okay, so we're not liable for your feelings, because this show is for edutainment purposes only.
Let's wrap this up. Let's go.
Please look for our episodes every Wednesday where we push them out. Find us on Spotify.
You're moving too slow.
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts. Keep it going. Google. Let's do it. All right.
Google Podcasts.
I'm fired up. Let's do this. Come on.
I don't know what's wrong with this little impatient diva sitting next to me. She's excited about a topic, listeners. So let's hope she can bring something with her excitement.
Do you have to talk so slow?
Don't forget to look for our videos every Wednesday.
This is Marcia. Don't forget to watch our videos every Wednesday where we push them out.
Oh, so you think you should do my...
No,
Marcia.
Just think you need to move
Find
up
us
there.
on YouTube, please, ladies and gentlemen. Look us up. You'll find out that we are putting it together for you. All the good ears and good eyes fit together like a hand in glove. This episode is sponsored by Cutie Nails and Spa in Midtown. They're offering manicures, pedicures,
They do those too.
facials,
Get one.
and lashes.
Oh, lashes. Remember?
Lashes. Enjoy a spa experience at Cutie Nails and Spa and let a team of cuties take care of you. Okay, Midtown shooting in Atlanta, which you could not help to get to.
Yes.
No patience?
No patience.
Okay, listeners, what are we talking about? In Midtown Atlanta, a black female went on a shooting spree of individuals that she believed wronged her, abused her, broke into her home, broke into her safe, and attacked her. Yet, despite her bringing the complaints to everyone that she thought would listen, nothing happened. So she decided to take the law into her own hands. Allegedly. Because it's alleged she's innocent until proven guilty. She was caught at the Atlanta airport escaping. Allegedly.
No, she wasn't caught.
Allegedly.
She was
She was
kidnapped
detained.
from the airport.
She was kidnapped by law enforcement at the Atlanta airport. Allegedly. Placed in the back of the police car, placed in cuffs allegedly, and taken against her will to the jail.
No, that happened. Okay. You don't have to allege that one. She was placed in cuffs.
She was placed in cuffs
and taken
to the jail, but it wasn't alleged.
Allegedly kidnapped.
She was allegedly kidnapped.
That I strongly agree. Let's throw as many allegedly as we can.
It's all alleged, okay? Even the murder allegations are alleged against her. Okay, Diva, what's your take on this story? In fact, give the listeners the backstory regarding this young lady.
So, all right. So I'm going to just put hypothetically.
Yes, it's been alleged.
It's alleged, hypothetically, all that. Okay. So, one thing, let me prerequisites. Golly.
Yeah. She wants to preface her conversation with this.
Here's the prerequisite. You see how I did that?
So
It's not a
what do I have
prerequisite.
to do
It's
before
not a
I can
prerequisite.
listen to this?
Exactly.
What do I have to do?
I
Drink.
need you to
Take a
understand.
drink. Do we need a drink to
Yes.
that? We're going to drink to that because
Do I have edibles available?
I need you to understand. I don't want to hear no one else mention angry black woman.
after
When
you
a
describe
black-
what an angry black woman looks
Exactly.
like. Okay.
I'm about to describe what an angry black woman looks like. When you get cussed, when your ass get cussed out at work, she's not an angry black woman. She just
She's
letting you know.
defending herself.
She's letting you know.
She's
Here's the
expressing her
law.
feelings.
She's expressing your feelings. She ain't passive aggressive. She gonna give you the straight shot, no chaser.
No chaser, unadulterated, straight from the bottle.
You know, when she slap you in your face because you did something like cheat, she's not angry. She's just providing discipline. Okay. Okay. When
Listeners,
She's disappointed allegedly.
she's providing discipline.
if she slaps you like Will Smith, she's disappointed.
She's just providing discipline. Okay.
You're getting
there's,
disciplined.
there's no emotion behind it.
No, it's
Okay.
just you need
Straight,
to be
unadulterated discipline.
Yeah, she's not angry.
not angry yet, people.
You can be spanked and not be angry.
Okay.
Okay? When she cuss you out, she ain't angry. You know? When she call you everything but a child of God, she's not angry.
What she tell you about yourself?
When she tell you about
Up
yourself.
and down and
up
around
and
and
down.
around.
When she reads you for filth, she's not angry. She's probably telling the truth. But when she pull out her gas, run for the hills, that bitch angry. And deservedly why? When you carry the weight
Of the world
on
your shoulders.
and you're dealing with passive aggressiveness, which is the worst type of aggression, because when you meet that passive aggressiveness with actual conversation, everybody look at you like you crazy.
Yeah. The passive aggressive one is bad because it's hard to point out. It's not straightforward. It's overt. It's hidden. It's sneaky. It's snake's belly style.
Covert.
Covert, not overt.
Yeah. That's the worst. I can't stand a passive aggressive person. That is the worst person.
Because you know what? Those are the ones that are easier to play victim.
yes.
Oh my God, I'm hurt.
Can I drop a flag here on someone who is likes to play victim? I had fairly called out the diva, for her word usage, and I just want to let you know the producer is fair and balanced. Judge Judy.
Oh.
You saying I play victim?
No. He said when he told me covert instead of overt. He's a fair producer.
Oh, okay. Well, who's playing victim? Did I miss that?
You.
I'll never play victim. If I'm a victim, I'm actually an offender. Okay.
Oh my God. I'm offended.
Allegedly.
I'm only a victim when the police come. I don't know why. I
You're a
had
victim.
to stab
You're
him.
a
He was
victim
coming. I'm like,
You're a victim.
I had to
When the
protect myself against.
You're a victim when the cops get there.
I had to protect myself against his car. Shout out to episode. But okay. So the story.
The backstory on the young lady in Midtown that's been
Alleged
arrested.
backstory.
Yeah, the alleged backstory on the young lady that was arrested in Midtown for murder.
Yeah.
Give us a backstory.
So what I heard, I didn't even read it. So what I heard, word on the street from the pages of the ATL, is that she's been on LinkedIn. She's been on a lot of different platforms indicating that she was a whistleblower for a fraud situation that was happening at her business. So at the company she worked for. So she made a complaint as a whistleblower. She ends up getting fired. She ends up starting her own company that maybe had some similarities to this particular
Like a
company.
spinoff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they filed a lawsuit against her in court. And so she was fighting this court case. Not only that, she had evidence of her whistleblowing allegations that were stored in her safe. So the company that she worked for knew the maintenance, or they call him engineer, maintenance man.
Right. Same thing.
The maintenance man allegedly knew the maintenance man that worked in her condo. And between the maintenance man and the property manager, they allowed someone to enter into her condo. Now, let's make this clear. Condo is not apartment. And even if it was an apartment, they still had no right going in there. But condo is your own property. So that makes it even worse compared to
an apartment where you would expect the maintenance man to come and go as he pleases.
Or there's a leak. We
Right.
need to get in.
Suspicious leak.
Suspicious leak. A suspicious smell. Something like that. So in your own property, they come in. They don't break in into
because they're permitted to come in.
because they had a key to get in, which made it look like they were allowed to come in. They break into her safe. I guess they jumbled up her place. So now this woman is scared. Like, you got, that sounds very professional if you got a safe breaker.
Right.
Like, what Russian mob are you with?
Right.
So before we go any further,
there's a backstory. So if a young lady is violated in a way where she has fear for her safety,
and went to the police, and the police said there's nothing, allegedly, there's nothing that we can do because it wasn't like a break-in. It wasn't like
somebody had access.
Yeah, as if she
and
allowed.
you could have given them the key, and now you're changing your mind about giving them access.
But my apartment is just my condo. Let's get these terminologies together. My condo was destroyed, and my safe that I had the code
and the
for
evidence that I
was breaking
had
into.
regarding the whistleblowing conduct
Is gone.
Is gone. Y'all find that suspect?
So now you're about to bankrupt me. So
you're suing me, and
yeah.
you're hiding the evidence
Yeah.
that I have to prove that you've engaged in inappropriate conduct.
Yeah.
So you can't poke the bear, ladies and gentlemen.
See, and if she lacked melanin, she would have probably committed suicide.
Her melanin tone was a little bit too high for her to kill herself.
Exactly.
So she decided to do homicide instead of suicide.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
No,
Okay.
not homicide. More so like self-defense.
Self-defense. She engaged in self-defense. Okay.
When I heard that,
Self-defense is a homicide.
when
It still is a homicide.
though?
It's the manner of death versus a cause of death.
when I heard this story, somebody told, I thought, oh, so that was self-defense. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Like, I knew, black women, I can't speak for men.
They're not active shooters.
Black women are not active shooters. I said man must have did something at first.
You thought it was a relationship
I thought it was a relationship situation. But corporate espionage
is a problem.
is a problem.
Especially if she really is
You like how
afraid.
I did that, right?
Yes, allegedly.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if she
The
actually
espionage alleged.
I
is a problem.
understand. Corporate espionage, allegedly.
no, but
They ain't gonna sue nobody else. They don't want no shots. Let's refrain from shooting.
yes,
Or let's
please.
refrain for suing.
Yes,
Because we don't want another
any more
shooting.
firings. But it's sad when you really get to the bottom of it, because it sounds as if this young lady, assuming arguendo, all the allegations are true, had an issue that people in positions of authority failed to address. And it's hard when you have human behavior that is going on and you go to the people who are supposed to be there to protect you. Because she really should have had whistleblower status. They
Right.
give people whistleblower
Where do
status
you get
for a
whistleblower-
reason.
Where do you get whistleblower status from? The FBI?
Well, you got to get it from the feds, because whatever you're alleging has to have violated some type of federal or state statute. So either the state who is investigating the conduct, if it's a state issue, or the feds who is investigating the federal conduct or the violation of the federal statute or the federal crime. They have to protect you, because they know that whistleblowers a lot of times get retaliated against, and including but not limited to killed. Because if I think you're going to open up Pandora's box for this corporation to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, it depends on how many people is affected by what illegal conduct the corporation engaged in. She really had reason to be afraid for her safety.
And quiet as it's kept, I'm pretty sure this might have been like property management, because I think the person, or real estate, some type of real estate business, because I think the person who the reason how they were able to get into talking to the property manager, because I think they owned either the property management company or they owned the actual totality
Facility.
of the building or something.
So they had a connection.
They had a
There's a
connection.
financial connection or relationship.
So they
even
might
if
have been
it's
doing
a third
some type
party
of
relationship.
And if it's federal, if it's a whistleblower, then I'm pretty sure it might have been like some type of federally funded like housing.
Yeah, if it's a housing
situation.
issue.
Yeah.
Whatever the issue is, they're going to get to the bottom of it. But I'm hopeful that she gets proper representation, because that matters. If she does not get proper representation and she ends up with an attorney who just goes on the surface and does not look at the defenses that she actually would have. And I've had judges ask people all the time, do you have a lawyer? And when the person says no, the judge will say, do you realize that there are defenses to these crimes that you've been charged with that an attorney could assist you with? And I think that if she gets the right lawyer and they actually investigate what was going on, if she can make a connection to the alleged victims in this case and the entry into her property, or that they were trying to enter into her property after that, that's a defense, and she could use it, because you never know what a jury of 12 is going to do. She's in a jurisdiction, Fulton County Superior Court, and that's going to be a jurisdiction that where she could actually get a jury of her peers for a change.
If it's not Johns Creek,
That is true,
it
because
needs to be like
I've had that
SWAT.
experience where almost everybody on the panel was from Johns Creek, to the point that I made a joke and said, hey, do you know that person? Are they your neighbor? Did they just pick a subdivision and told everybody to come? And they found it funny. They laughed and we joked about it. But in the back of my mind, I was like, are you playing with the numbers? And are you stacking the jury pool? Because this is weird that all the people are from Johns Creek, and some of them had already served on jurors before. Some of them were foremen on a jury. And I was like, whoa, I've been in my county how many years? I've never made it onto a jury. And I think I've been called maybe twice in 40 years. You know what I mean? How lucky could y'all be? Y'all need to play the lotto, because y'all keep coming back, you know, and it wasn't even a lot of years later. Some people are like, oh, about 4 years ago. 4 years and you call back again? They must like what you're putting out, because you're doing really, really good in jury service to get it back. But this young lady, you know, it's crazy, because she took an Uber. The Uber guy that drove her to the airport, they had him on the news, and he said he knows her and she's a really cool person. So I'm saying, if she's normal, going to work, having a relationship with an Uber driver that takes her most of the places she wants to go, something snapped. It's either temporary insanity or I had reason to be in fear.
That has to be insanity, because the thing is that it's like
There's no
hopeless.
history there.
It's when you that hopeless and you're like, they have my job has been violated. I lost my job. Now my house has been violated.
My safe is broken
my
into.
safety.
The evidence that I had to show what I was alleging is gone.
What's next? And then watch a few serial killer TV shows on Netflix, and it's done.
It's gone.
Woo.
It's gone.
Nobody better run up in my house because I done watched too many serial killer shows and murders.
You need to watch
But I'm
Defend Your
ready.
Home shows. Do they have any of that? How to defend your home
Defend
from
your home.
murder. How to defend your home from murder.
Murder.
Yeah, that was sad.
I
When
got
I
bullets
saw
that
her,
go through walls, so don't come up here because I'm shooting walls out. Okay.
yeah, don't worry. Most houses in America has walls that bullets will go through.
Yeah, I'm shooting. You come through that door.
They're
I'm
not
shooting
built with
through the
cement
wall
blocks.
to-
Majority of them are not. They're built with
how
press
you-
board.
You know how you see like Jack Bauer, right? And you know the enemy would be on that side of the wall, and he's there, and he knows that he's about to walk through here, and he just shoots through the wall, and that's how I'm gonna be.
Wow, Jack Bauer. Don't go to her house. She's Jackette Bauer.
Jack A.
Jack A. Bauer.
Jack A. Bauer.
You're gonna get the Jack A. Bauer at her
Treatment.
house.
Run
Yeah,
up in
well,
here.
you know, we're gonna follow this story, listeners, because we want to know what's really behind
This
it.
is what an angry black woman turns into.
If you don't hear pow pow, you're not dealing with an angry black woman.
No. So I want to hear another
Accusation
accusation
about
mention.
a woman who's checking you for coming for her and calling her an angry black woman.
Exactly.
She will not wear that label.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Now, if she waves a gun at you, then she might be angry. Might be a little angry.
Rayshard Brooks. Atlanta's popping off, isn't it?
Pop, pop, pop.
Rayshard Brooks officers, Garrett, special prosecutor, decides here in Cobb County to dismiss the charges against the two officers that were charged by Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
How is Cobb County? I get it, special prosecutor. How is Cobb County making decisions for what happens
In Fulton County?
in Fulton County on University Street and
Let
20?
me
No, 75.
explain. See how excited you were to get through my monologue? I'm excited to get through your question. That is because Paul Howard was the former district attorney of Fulton County at the time these officers were charged. According to Fonnie Willis, who is the new district attorney that beat Paul Howard in an election because of this case. So she ran against Paul Howard, and I believe that this case assisted her with getting elected because the police union said, we don't want Paul Howard in the seat anymore because he charged these officers wrongly and that they should not have been charged, and Paul Howard charged them only for political reasons. He knew he was running in an election, and he decided to charge them not because he believed they behaved in an improper manner, but because he wanted to be reelected. So Fonnie Willis gets elected based on the platform. And Fonnie Willis, the first day of work, says, I don't want to do this job. She tries to punt the ball to the GBI. The GBI says, nope, you're the DA. Try your case. So that didn't work. So then she tries to get a special prosecutor by transferring the case to Cobb County. And Cobb
Why
County
she changed it to Cobb County when she could simply change
to
it to
DeKalb, which is really close.
Yeah.
No, why would you change it to DeKalb? The racial makeup in DeKalb is majority black. And the racial makeup in DeKalb of the elected officials is all black.
She could have transferred. Gwinnett is closer than Cobb.
It's getting there because the Gwinnett has a large Hispanic population, and they're also changing. But she sent it to Cobb, where the change has not occurred as yet. So
She
when it
all
went
over
to
the
Cobb,
place.
Cobb said, we know how to fix this. What does Cobb do? They appoint a special prosecutor. Who is who? Danny Porter. Who is Danny Porter? The former DeKalb County District Attorney. What does he do? He investigates the case, listeners, and he decides that the charges against the officers should have been dismissed because Rayshard Brooks attacked the officer, took his taser, and attempted to fire the taser or pointed the taser at the officers, and that's why it was justified for the officers to have shot him in the back while he was running in the opposite direction of the officers.
But that doesn't even go with the Atlanta police policy. because according to the policy that I read, I did read it. It said that if someone is running away from you, you cannot shoot them
In the back.
in the back.
Well, Danny Porter says different. He
And
says,
it also says that the
Shoot all you want.
taser is not considered a lethal weapon.
that's what they say when they shoot and kill people with it. So if I tase you and you die and I file a lawsuit saying you had a heart attack because you tased me, the cases are coming down where the taser manufacturer will testify at your civil trial and say that it's not a deadly weapon and that your heart attack had absolutely nothing to do with the taser. However, when you're pointing that same taser at the officer, it's a lethal deadly weapon. That taser changes roles depending on whose hands it's in and who it's pointing at. Hypocrisy at its highest level is what's
finest.
going on. And until we stop all the wishy-washy schmuckery, we will never get to a place in this country where people will feel like the justice system is actually just.
And that's why
They need to put the word in front of justice system. The injustice system.
That's why the Lady Justice is like this. She ain't.
Oh,
she
she
ain't
What do you
blind.
think the batting average for justice is in the justice system?
And when you say batting average, what are you talking about?
Like, what is good and what is bad?
People?
What percentage of, let's stick to criminal cases that are adjudicated, dispense justice? I don't want to say necessarily correctly, but as close to correct as possible.
I would say the numbers are as low as about 30%.
I would say if you're a prosecutor and you're not your prosecution rate is 90%.
Yeah, it's probably
Then it's the
90%
opposite.
of
If
your
it's
case.
97%,
Yeah, then
then
10% of your cases is what's been properly adjudicated.
Probably so.
That's true. If whatever your conviction rate is, flip that.
Yeah.
In
Because
your
that's
county.
too high. That's too high.
Okay. That's not a fair metric,
Why is it not?
because you're using a percentage and you're not considering that's cases tried to cases won.
No. That's just
that's
cases
pleas.
handled in your office that
Yeah.
end with a conviction.
That's pleas.
Whether
included.
pleas or trials or not.
Do you know how many people taking a plea just because they
Okay,
don't?
hold on. And I'm saying, all right, so is your number, because their conviction rate is to trial, not only to trial and pleas, but they don't count the dismisses. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying.
Okay, so you're saying they're only counting their convictions and their pleas as convictions. They're not counting the cases that they dismiss?
That's correct. So it's the number of cases that they've
Actually
pursued.
prosecuted is
Yeah.
the 90%. So you're saying those numbers are a little bit inaccurate just because they don't include the cases that they decide not to pursue.
Exactly.
That's about 10%.
the numbers still
So
don't
they're still at
change.
80. So 20% of their population.
Well, you don't even study for the test, and you can still get a 90%.
Yeah. You
When
doing
people
real
take a
good.
plea, they not. You ain't give out discovery, and somebody
Nothing. Somebody said you don't even have to show me the evidence. I'll go to prison. What the? Okay. All right.
Let me show you the evidence that we don't have against you. When you don't get discovery till the first week trial comes out, but you already
10
took
days.
your plea.
In fact, that's the law in Georgia. 10 days before trial is when you're entitled to discovery. If that is not warped no legislator, not one, not black, not white, not yellow, not green, not purple, not from Mars, not from Earth, has ever attempted to change that statute.
That's crazy.
10 days before trial.
I
You
need
have
to
a
prepare
homicide.
for my life for a 2-week project.
Your ma'am, it's less than 2 weeks.
My
Okay,
life is-
you're short 4 days.
And that's if
You're
my
short 4
attorney
days.
is not busy.
Correct.
And that's also if
Correct.
my attorney don't have other cases. And
Thank
that's
you.
also if I pay my attorney.
Correct. Because if I didn't pay my attorney, most of them are not doing nothing on your case. They're working the
Exactly.
cases where they got paid. But I'm going to be fair. To be fully transparent.
8%.
Most jurisdictions will give you the discovery before the 10 days. You understand? Most jurisdictions will. So you'll have an arraignment. You'll have 10 days to file your discovery motions. You'll file your discovery motions and within about.
But is that because there's a agreement that's put on the books, so it overrules, like, when not a stipulation agreement, but a court, when how they plan for court on.
So as a courtesy.
Motion hearings will be between this. Any motions that need to be filed.
Correct. And it's hard for you to
What is that called?
It'll delay the court to handle motions hearings. You understand? Any type of pending motions, whether it's a motion to suppress, a motion to seize, or a motion to any kind of motion you have, immunity motion, a motion to dismiss, anything. All motions will backlog the courts if I don't have sufficient evidence to file the motions before you put me on a trial calendar. So when you file your boilerplate motions, they're not particularized. So they don't have a specific allegation, facts, and the law that you're arguing. You just file this boilerplate because you're trying to protect your client's rights. And you have to do that early enough to protect them. And you do that within 10 days of an arraignment. And now you have these pending motions and you can't tell the judge whether you're going forward on them or not, because if the evidence is really bad, you'll just dismiss the motion and go, judge, we're going to negotiate something with the state. And if you got the goods, you're like, no, we need to have a hearing. And the judge now needs to schedule you. So it's as a courtesy that most prosecutors will say, all I'm going to do is push my calendar back, and backlog my cases. So they will hand it over to you before 10 days before trial. But the dishonest prosecutors will hold on to the good stuff, the good exonerating stuff until the end. And if you as defense counsel, as you're going through all the other stuff they gave you, don't go, whoa, there's an extra cop in that video and he has body cam and I don't have that body cam. And send out to the DA's office or the solicitor's office, hey, I need a body cam for that extra cop that was in that video. Oh, we're sorry. All right.
We don't have it until 10 days before we.
No. I didn't realize I had it. I'll reach out to them to get it. And they'll act like they didn't already have it. You understand? And then if you push back on them and say, hey, I still don't have that, they're like, well, you're really not entitled to it until 10 days before trial. So don't push me or you won't get it until 10 days before trial.
So is this evidence that exonerates my client?
Trust me. If you're a betting woman as a lawyer, you can bet. If you're a betting man, you can bet.
That's why they should have, just like in civil cases, when they have like the when you file the letter, the 6.4 letter, to get they
discovery.
should be able to.
You
do that.
do. You file a motion to compel discovery.
Yeah.
Defense counsel
before
though.
10.
You can do it before 10 days. You can do it before 10 days because you're arguing that what they turned over shows that there's a sculpatory evidence out there that they have not turned over.
But then you should ask for legal fees.
But they won't give it to you because
That's
I've
what
done
I'm
that.
saying.
I've done that. In fact, I had a homicide one time and I did that. I filed a motion to compel the state to turn over discovery and the judge said, give it to her. And I asked for attorney's fees. I asked for sanctions. And I said, this is wrong. This is a murder case and you're going to give me this much evidence? They had a box. What they were hiding was that the child died accidentally. And they didn't want me to get all that. So, counsel, if your client sees these pictures and they pass out. I said, you're not worried about my client. You charge my client with murder. If you were really worried about their feelings, you wouldn't be charging them for murder.
Right.
You would dismiss the case.
Right.
Give me the photos. Turn them over.
I don't have to show them to my client.
Stop playing games. I don't have to show them to my client. I'm showing them to my expert. Yeah, so those are the games you get played. And I think, in this case, I think they could have left it up to a jury. I think they were afraid in this climate that this country is in that those two officers would have been convicted because that's what they do with defendants. If they think the evidence is iffy, prosecutors, they say things like, let the jury decide. Why are you not letting the juries decide in this Ray Sharbrooks case? You scared? You scared they might convict them?
Why you can't get your ass whooped? Ain't you a police officer?
No, but why if I'm running in the opposite direction?
I know, but why? Because they said that he attacked him first. But you're attacked. You still up and running. You still all your No, you're running behind me, and because you can't catch me, you decide to shoot me in my back. That's what I'm saying. To me, all your functions are good. You're not lying out on the ground.
In fact, to be honest with you, it should be unlawful for an officer to have to shoot a suspect in the back. If you shoot him in the chest, you better flip him over and shoot him. My position is all my police officers would have to flip that suspect over and gun him to the chest.
You better flip his
Hey, you better flip him. You better get him on his back. Because if you shoot him in his back, I got a problem with that. That says the threat was not coming to you. The threat was going away from you.
Right, and that's why old girl should be able to come off because, she was attacked and then she attacked back. Maybe.
Well, she defended herself. It wouldn't even be an attack. She
Yeah.
defended
She
herself.
defended herself.
I think she has a defense. And I don't know if she's got a good attorney, but she's going to need one. All right, Uvalde police has been fired. The police chief is out. Listeners, Uvalde police chief, the board has decided that he needs to get out of here.
Was he the one who said don't go in?
Yes. And he said, I wasn't in charge of that scene.
So was he not in charge, or was he?
Of course,
in charge?
he's the head of the doggone. He's the police chief. Hello, chief. Those are your Indians.
I know, but was he like at the? I get that, but was he like at the police? Was he at the police headquarters?
Chief.
And then it was,
You could be at home eating bonbons, chief.
Native Americans.
He's not a chief.
Native Americans.
Oh, I was talking about police chief. His title
No,
don't
I
say.
understand.
who said Indians?
I said, hey, chief, those are your Indians.
Oh,
He said those are
Native
not his
Americans.
Indians.
Those are your Native
Hey,
Americans.
chief, those are your native chiefians. Chiefians? Those are your Native Americans.
Tribesmen.
Tribesmen, groupsmen, groomsmen, originals,
Those are your originals.
Own of the
Aborigines.
owners of the country.
We gotta find.
Anything. It
We
depends
gotta
on
find
what
us
chief it
a
is.
non-English word
For chief.
for the original
Chiefettes.
people.
How about chiefettes? Those are your chiefettes. I'm not talking about the nation. I'm talking about the police
Yeah,
officers.
no, makes sense.
Those are your refugees. You know how they call them. Because you know
Police
how,
chief
listen,
has refugees.
wait. You know how
Them your
back in-
cronies. Those are your cronies.
back when Katrina happened, and they was like, look at all the refugees.
Oh yeah, and they're from America. Where you getting refugees from? Isn't that crazy that
They
you can
just-
move from one
the
state
Katrina
to another because of a
refugees.
storm and they call you refugees? You're seeking refuge in Georgia and Texas.
The Katrina refugees.
Those are refugees because
I
they're
mean,
black.
Words.
Yeah, words.
words.
That mean a
Words.
lot.
Yeah.
Words are empty vessels.
No, they're not.
No,
we
they're
fill them with
vessels-
meanings all day long.
Yes, but they're empty vessels that you put energy into.
We put energy
How
in.
come they never said the people from Florida escaping the hurricanes
Are
were
refugees. No, families coming to town.
The families went to stay with other relatives.
Yes, that's how the reports work. Let me tell you something. This country has
'Cause
got
they
to
weren't
fix it.
stranded.
I watched.
No, there was a hurricane back in 90 something where it flooded
It
just
did.
like
It did.
Katrina.
It did. It
And
was
my
bad.
my aunt had to move out of Florida. Like she had to move out of Florida, even though her house wasn't hit, but it was everything surrounding it was bad. She had to move out of Florida. She wasn't considered no refugee.
She wasn't. They didn't call people from Florida refugee. And I remember there were years where we had friends that even battened down their house and they're like, we got to get out of Miami. And they drive up to Atlanta. And they said it took them 10 hours to do a 2-hour run because the traffic was bad and everybody was leaving the state. But I've never heard them. You're correct. I've never heard
Yeah.
them. I'm not saying it's not out there, listeners, but I've never heard it. That that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Like Codiva's tree that falls in the forest, and because she can't hear it, it didn't fall. But
I didn't say it
have
didn't
not
fall. I
heard
didn't
them.
say it didn't make a noise.
Well, because it fell and made a noise, she couldn't hear it. Didn't make a
but
noise.
it has to. Sound waves have to hit something. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but sound waves have to hit something in order for the sound waves to be.
Let me tell you what
There's
it don't
sound
have
waves
to hit
going that
for it
we
to be
don't
real.
hear.
It don't have to hit your ears, and it's still real.
Is it though?
It is.
Like, are my kids talking right now?
They're
I don't
not.
hear them, so they're not talking.
Look, they're not talking when you're
They're
at
only
home
talking when your
because you
ears
acting like
burning.
you still not hearing them.
They're only talking when your
mommy,
ears burning.
mommy,
Oh,
mommy,
yes, it's all
mommy.
the time.
You
Mommy,
know you pretend you
mommy.
don't hear them.
My text messages be like that. Mom. Let me tell you something. My oldest child, her communication skills are lacking, okay? Leave much to be desired. She said, this happened last week. Mom.
Wait. In a
Mom.
text?
In a text message. And then I think I was in the shower, and then I got out after the 10 moms. Something's wrong at the school.
Whoa, pass out.
So as I start, oiling my guns and gassing up and putting on my vest,
Putting on your armor.
and getting my
So
AR-15
let me go, you Valdez.
and grabbing my 12 gauge shotgun, I said, "What do you mean?" And then she texts back,
I forgot my homework.
"The school's AC out. You got to come get us."
Wow.
When I saw her, I said, please don't ever give me a text message that does not describe
What is going on,
on
especially at a school.
at a school.
Okay?
Because I was about to come up there guns a-blazing.
We have too many school shootings for you to do that.
I said, make sure you text your dad and let him know he does not have to pick you up from school because
The AC is
I picked
out.
you out. I picked you up and you're at home. And she said, okay. She texted my husband.
Dad, 10 dads.
You don't have to pick me up at school because there was a situation.
What?
You don't have to
She
worry
said-
about picking me up because there was a situation at school.
She said, I love to see them jerk. It is amazing to see those parents jerk.
I had to text back, the AC was out. And then he still didn't get it. What? The AC is out at home? Oh, man, my day is ruined.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. So you all need to don't seek training from the Uvalde police chief. Y'all sound like y'all work for him.
It's like, thank God I ain't got to pick that child up. He ain't care about no situation.
You've got to.
I ain't gotta pick her
You've
up.
got to.
What you mean the AC out?
I was just like he said, I was just thinking about that. I'm glad
Poor
the AC
thing.
didn't went out. Now the AC's out. And he thought it was at
It
home.
was gonna be a good day. I could have stayed out. I could have stayed. I had a little
Crazy.
more fun out here. I could have stayed out till
Crazy.
about 3:50. I could have done some
No,
stuff.
not that. He was.
Look, y'all taking lessons from the Uvalde police chief on how to communicate?
Obviously.
That must be how it's worked. I think he should have been fired from day one.
How about all those police officers?
Everybody fired.
Retrained.
No. Don't retrain him.
Yeah, because it was scary.
It's tough. No, it's
I
tough.
mean, who gonna replace him?
I'm
pretty
the
sure-
parents. The parents were
I'm
very
pretty-
brave.
I'm
The
pretty-
parents who
no,
wanted to go in.
No, maybe the two that went in. They could probably become police officers, but I don't think they make tough guys in.
Maybe it's the
Uvalde.
feds,
And
'cause
I said it, Texas.
they-
Y'all supposed to be the hardcore.
Oh, they're hard.
I'm from Texas.
No.
I'm from Texas.
No.
Y'all supposed to be flipping guns like
Listen,
this.
listen.
Y'all supposed to be rodeoing up and throwing stuff on cows, throwing ropes on cows and bulls and red sheets and going
They
like
do.
this.
But the cows are at the prison. They do the death penalty when they rope their cows.
Well, all the tough people have been given the death penalty.
That's correct.
Y'all ain't got no police officers. It's a little weak in Texas. I'm just saying, like, I thought y'all was going to hold it down. I thought Texas, never in Texas were there going to be people who are not going to hold it down.
They said the federales got it. They waited on
So
the
weak.
federales.
So weak. Let them be little illegals. You would have been all up in there.
Oh yeah, they
guns
would.
a-blazing.
They would. All you have to say is illegal immigrant in the building.
And you would have been all
Everybody
up
would
in
have been
there.
gone.
All up in there.
All right, Vanessa Bryant is rewarded, yes, by a jury who says that the police should not, listeners, have disseminated Kobe Bryant's and her daughter's accident scene photographs. She gets $16 million, and her co-plaintiff gets $15 million.
Wait, were they like dead in the pictures?
Yes.
Oh.
They took pictures of them and started passing it around. There was a video that was shown for the jurors of a bartender getting it on his phone and showing it to a patron at the bar. I was shocked when I saw that. She learned of her husband's death, allegedly, from the news. So I think that was painful. I think she deserves that money. She says the entire 100% of the proceeds are going to be donated to her husband's favorite charity or their charity that they have, and that they're going to make sure that this never happens.
What does that mean
again.
when you donate money to a charity?
Well, if you're Amber Heard, you're in Britain.
No, remember what
You
she
didn't give
said?
a dime.
You remember?
Donating means you pledged it.
And I take that pledge back.
Hey, I pledged it. I use them synonymously.
What did,
That's what she said. She said I use them synonymously.
What about Trump's charity and the Clintons'
Well, he
charity?
gets it
and Will
back.
Smith. What'd you say about Will Smith's charity? So what happened with Vanessa's charity?
Her charity's going to get the money, and
Which
she's
means
going to
it's gonna go
donate
in her
it.
pocket?
She's going to donate. She said I have plenty of money. First of all, my husband had life insurance, so let's not play with each other. And we had plenty of money before he passed away, and this I did not need. Okay. Because I have the purse, I have the house, I have the kids, I have the car.
purse.
Okay, I have the dress, I have the hair, I have it all. I didn't need this money. So I'm going to give it away to the needy.
Keep it real, partner.
Thank you.
Give to the needy.
Not the greedy. And go ahead, producer. I was about to wrap it up.
No.
Oh, he says no. The producer is a workhorse, slave. And we're the workhorses. Slave driver.
Slave. And you're the driver or the overseer?
He's the slave driver.
So I think it's a big deal to point out that I think, if I remember, this is just straight damages, not including punitive.
That's what I was told, that this was not punitive. This was just straight damages for what they did, which is great because remember, punitive awards in most states are reduced and capped. So even if you give a punitive, which is crazy to me, you don't tell the jurors what the cap is and you cap it. To me, it doesn't make sense. If there's a cap, why are you having jurors award money over it? I still can't find a rationale behind that. I know there's one, but I still can't find a rationale. Because if I'm maybe they're concerned that if they know there's a cap on punitive, they'll put more money on damages.
Maybe.
And they're like, no, we don't want you to transfer punitive money to the damages award. So we want you to think, because punitive is to punish the person for the conduct. And damages is to reward them.
But you could always adjust or appeal the damages part if it doesn't make math, because damages has to make
sense.
How do you get 16 million for the pictures?
The sheer amount of people who are able to visibly view those.
Yeah,
photos.
I think it was like 8 employees that disseminated it.
Okay, and then the money they made off of those pictures?
Not necessarily money
No,
they made. It's
she said they were keeping it as like souvenirs. Yeah,
so it's not punitive. Those are actual emotional.
Yeah, the emotions
damages
of knowing that it was
you
being
can have.
distributed.
And
My
that other
daughters.
people are seeing it. And that
Yeah, and your husband's mangled body, your daughter's mangled body.
It hit the internet. So I mean,
and
Are they still up there?
no, they're saying it's gone, but her attorneys was like, we don't know when it's going to
could you-
surface.
Could you find it?
I didn't look. I don't think I
No,
want
I'm
to see
saying,
it.
could you find it? It's
Probably.
the internet.
Probably.
That's my answer. It's the internet.
And that's what their argument was, because the defendants was like, we took down everything that might have been up there. Nothing has been posted. You know, that's what their argument was.
Who thought it was just
Souvenir.
just like the monkey sweatshirt? Who thought this was a great idea?
No, it's one of those things.
I want a souvenir.
I believe where, all right, so understand this. Stupidity hits.
Big time.
It is, remember, you're in LA. You're probably a Lakers fan. This is probably
Big news.
your hero, right? And you're like, I can't believe it. And your dumbass
Sent
a
it to
photo.
everybody.
Just takes a photo.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's really
Is it happening
him.
for real?
It's-
Yeah, let me show you.
It's really him. Like, I can't believe it, right? So it's a moment of shock and stupidity.
So who took the picture?
combined into
Is it
one.
like the
first responders?
Yeah.
responders?
Because there's no one to save. What are you gonna do?
Oh,
when
so
you
the
arrive?
first
You're like,
responder
Everybody's
was
dead.
like, "Oh my gosh, this is Kobe Bryant. Send to my homies," and then it started like
it's
that.
not.
I'm sure that's how it went.
I feel
Sounds
like
good,
you-
Diva.
Oversimplified.
I like that. I like that reenactment, though. I like that
Send it to my homies.
My very complicated and emotional
explanation. She just took it as a pap.
Yeah. Hey yo, isn't that him?
That Kobe Bryant. Send it to my homie.
I love the reenactment, my
And we
diva.
can drink to that.
Kudos to Vanessa and her
them
family.
Well,
Vindicating.
kudos to the jury.
Kudos
getting
to
it
the
right.
jury
Yeah.
and to her, because some people probably wouldn't pursue it because they have enough money already. And she said, this is not about the money. This is about the principle of the matter. So she paid to get principle, and she did.
So she got that tax dollars. So she took money away
got them
from
tax dollars?
Them tax dollars.
Them tax diamonds.
Them dollars. Where them dollars at?
Now that's Diva Court for this
Get them
episode.
tax dollars.
And we will drink to that. Listeners, don't forget to look for our episodes each week. We push out on Wednesday on Spotify,
Spotify.
Apple Podcasts,
Apple
and Google Podcasts.
Google us.
And don't forget to check out our videos every week. On Wednesday, we have them on YouTube for you, where we push out many different colors and the beauties. This episode of Diva Court was sponsored by Cutie Nails and Spa. Don't forget to go to Cutie Nails and Spa and get your spa experience. Let a team, not a harem, not a harem, a team of cuties take care of you. Woo. And like we say every week on Diva Court, in closing the show, we'll drink to that. Wardrobe change.
Wardrobe change.
Wardrobe change.
Whoa.
We got to drink to that.